one piece of concrete.
Inception in 2011. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Well, it is Big Ten Media Day, and the old bit of Jim Harbaugh continues as always. That's part of the reason I just get so beaten down by talking about it so much. It's for lack of a better word, it's gross. The product was gross last year. There's no doubt about it. That's why I thought he should be gone. He's not. So here we go. Start from, I won't say ground zero. You know, give him a whole complete clean slate. No. But have to see what happens. I don't anticipate anything, really. I anticipate them, winning. If they win 7 games with that team, at least as it looks to me, that would be a decent season.
Yeah, most people got them pegged for about 7 wins. But when you go into your 7th season and you're getting pegged for 7 wins and you brought that guy back, knowing that, you said this is what we expect of him.
See, I give a little bit of a free pass from last year because of what happened.
What about the 5 previous?
No, I don't. No, Stoney knows. I mean, guys, remember, I'm apathetic right now.
Yeah.
I kind of really don't care. If a game was on tomorrow, if I had something important going on, would I cancel it? No, I wouldn't right now. But I will say this. I think because of the situation last year, I look at Penn State as an example last year. Penn State's not that bad, okay? And I'm not quite sure Michigan was that bad. The circumstances for every single team are bizarre. I do question the not playing the Ohio State game, trust me. But look, the reason my standard, I said it's 8-4, so I'm above what people think is the ceiling, right?
Yeah, most people think 7 and 5.
Because I expect there to be progress and a definitive excitement, get me reinvigorated about Michigan football going into the next year.
So you believe if they win 8 games and there's a buzz, he keeps his job?
If they get better as the year goes on and they have a clear-cut number 1 quarterback and a running back, I think that's been one of his biggest mistakes, is not dialing in on a specific running back. Edwards, he's got to be the guy. You got to see these things. You got to see it. Freshmen are doing it at other schools.
Right.
Jim, I'm the same guy that, I don't know if I've questioned why he's failed in the transfer portal. He's actually been a part of, the future of college football, where all these major programs have been relying a lot on the transfer portal for a quarterback, but he hasn't hit.
Right. Well, they didn't hit the transfer portal in much of anything because they're kids who I know want to go there and they won't let them in.
I just think
because
right now,
transfer.
I think the difference between mine and Jim's opinion is this: I think Jim still, you're so beyond just this is ridiculous.
I don't trust the university to fire him because they've given me no reason to believe they will part ways with him. That's where I'm at on it.
I think if they go under 500, he might be done.
Yeah, but what if they sell tickets and everybody graduates and he's not
if they're below 500, there's no way.
I don't share that belief.
There's no way.
I hope you're right.
If they look like last year,
yes,
he is not back, and it may be by his own decision.
Right, and if they look like last year, when you see the students not showing up and you see the empty seats. If they have
there was nobody there last year.
Right, but you know what I'm talking about.
You couldn't sell a seat last year too. That's what we're piling
on. It would have been ugly last year. I think if last year would have been a normal season, and let's say they went 4-7 or 5-6, it would have been ugly. It would have been like the end of the Hoke era.
Yes. A ticket tax.
They've been doing 2 tickets and a Coke or whatever it was.
The Brandon plan. Harbaugh, the scandal cover-up and the arrogance of the program is the reason I'm no longer a fan. I hope Mel Tucker embarrasses Jim and Ohio State drops 100 on him. I think Michigan will win 9 games this year. They will be dominant up front on both sides of the ball against everyone except Ohio State and Wisconsin. I don't know where you're expecting them to be dominant on both sides of the ball up front. Hopefully you're right. I just don't see it. I mean, Hutchinson's going to be really good, obviously. Still waiting for Ozzie Smith or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of players you're just waiting for. You have to hope that there are guys who never saw the field that are better than you thought they were.
But this is the stuff you talk about with the first or second year of a coach,
you're
where
right.
He doesn't have his guys, and they haven't developed, and everybody at Michigan is supposedly
looking for hope. That's
Well, I guess, and I think there's nobody in this state, there's nobody in this world that wanted him more than me to be the head coach. There's nobody. There may be equals, but there was nobody. And I thought he did a hell of a job the first year. I really did with what he came and did. And I thought the second year, I thought before he ever came here that he's a good coach. And I guess I still believe that. He's obviously not the same person.
No,
it's a very, very bizarre situation in general. I'll just say this too. Ward Manuel didn't hire him.
No.
So it's not like he's got to admit fault here. Ward Manuel can be a hero if things go south.
That's right. Hey, hired the right guy for basketball, right?
Yeah.
People are putting too much stock into last year's disappointment. That's from DZ. Hey, gentlemen, who's a better option than Harbaugh? I don't care. That to me is irrelevant, especially if the team stinks. You can find cheaper guys that have a team that stinks.
How telling is it that people believe nobody can win a Big Ten title at Michigan? Because that's what that ticket texter says, right?
Yes.
Harbaugh can't do it. Nobody can.
Right.
How telling is that you don't believe anybody can win at Michigan?
Yeah.
I mean, that is damning.
Well, nobody.
I don't agree with it. I think someone could come in here,
Well,
the right
right.
coach could turn it around.
But nobody's won in Michigan since 04 either.
Well, yeah, and what's the they haven't won a major bowl since the Rose Bowl, right? In '97?
No, the BC.
Oh, yeah, they won the
Denard team that beat Virginia
The Sugar
Tech.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is did they really win that game?
Yeah, they did. Harbaugh won't get fired because Michigan only cares about perception. Costa sounds like a schmuck with the typical Michigan hot takes. Come up with something new. That's from frequent texter Mike and Williamston.
I wish that something new was happening in Ann Arbor so we wouldn't be rehashing the same disappointments every year.
Yeah, you sound like this is the last game was just yesterday.
Yeah. We're talking media day here. And also the fact that Michigan only cares about perception, that would be kind of wrong because if they cared about perception, he'd be gone, right?
No, but they don't want to admit that a Michigan man has failed. They don't. They don't want to admit that Jim Harbaugh's failed.
Who's they, though?
The power brokers at Michigan.
Yeah,
You define it as Ward Manuel. You define it as whoever whoever decided that Jim Harbaugh should be the coach this season. That's the
I
day.
think the whole administration is dysfunctional. Yeah, but that person's not around anymore. Costa spitting fire. Completely agree. Preach. Yeah, we agree that he should.
Yeah.
We agree. I just try to rationalize what's going to happen this year. Michigan can't buy out Harbaugh. They have to save money for Dr. Anderson. Well, the buyout is not that much money.
Not anymore.
No, right. So that's.
But I don't buy that as an excuse when other schools that
No,
don't
I
care
know.
about
I
football
agree.
are willing to buy out their team.
I agree with you. Well, like schools like Arizona, I definitely agree with you. Auburn, they don't care. Because they'll have a booster who will write a check for $50 million.
Auburn's crazy.
Right, because that's all they live for.
Yeah.
I mean, the schools down, they always make what's the slogan? The SEC
means more.
It means more, matters more, whatever. Because it does. Because they have no lives. That's it. They have no pro teams for most of the schools in the SEC. Their lives depend on Alabama, on Georgia, on Auburn football. That's what they live for 24/7, 365. I'll give Big Ten fans, with probably the exception of Ohio State, credit. We don't do that here because we have other things that are somewhat more important in our lives.
But you can put all that stuff aside. I'd rather look at some of the X's and O's under Harbaugh.
Yeah,
And what the heck is going on with getting owned in the trenches? Why is that going backwards? See, to me, those are the things that, in Jim's argument, that it's just absolutely ridiculous that he's still here, because those are the troubling things that sometimes it's you can't correct that.
Well, and Tom, you want to bring up like X's and O's. How many different coordinators have they had on both sides of the ball? At some point, it goes back to the guy.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
I mean, everybody loved Don Brown at first, but I've always felt all along that they look better under Durkin. I do.
Yeah. If he would have stayed, what if DJ Durkin would have stayed?
Well, they
Maryland
would have had another scandal on it.
That's right. DJ Durkin. I know he's a consultant somewhere. But yeah, that didn't work out too well for him at Maryland. And the saddest part about this is you're seeing schools like Rutgers and Maryland, with the way they've been able to recruit the last couple of years, it won't surprise anybody if Maryland and Rutgers are better than Michigan this year. Nobody would be
I
surprised.
mean, Rutgers was a triple overtime game last year.
Yes.
Michigan's got to go to Maryland this year.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
No. This season, I think, is going to be awful. And maybe they'll be better off because there'll be no pressure on him, on the team. He's hot seat, whatever. But yeah.
That's it. I'll steal a line from Star Wars. Tony, you won't know it, but Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Like a unicorn is his only hope. Seriously. He has to have a player, somebody on this roster, maybe it's J.J. McCarthy, maybe it's Edwards, somebody's got to flip it. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Do you see how desperate that is?
Or,
You're going to lose Hutchinson,
right, or I'm just reaching here, so please, don't take a text me. Maybe the unicorn could be Mike McDonald. All of a sudden, they have this unbelievable defense. Mike McDonald turns into Brent Venables.
Exactly. You stole the words right out of my mouth. Who was Brent Venables 5 years into Dabo Swinney's career?
Right.
I don't think you could name him other than...
Was it in Texas?
He's an OU defensive coordinator. Very good defensive
Oh, in
coordinator.
Oklahoma?
Yeah. So exactly, there it is. You know, the only another thing, if you want, okay, so the unicorn's a hope. Well, Dabo's unicorn was Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
He changed everything. That's what has to happen. It's really the Dabo thing timeline is, although it's not even every single year, that's what has to happen for Harbaugh.
Yeah, he's got to. You're right. The unicorn, whatever it is, somebody's got to just absolutely take that program by the balls, so to speak, and just change it. And obviously, the head coach can't do it. He needs one of the players.
I mean, Stoney, it's probably as I was one of the last people that wanted to accept that Clemson was a power.
I know.
5-6 years ago, because I just didn't buy it, and it's going to be so hard with Michigan too to buy it. Right?
Yeah. Michigan needs the church like Clemson. All right, our telephone number 248-539-9797. Heather has news coming up next.
I do. I have a story where experts are slamming yet another popular TikTok trend. But boys, thankfully, this one does not involve tea.
All right, check that out. Coming up, 97.1 The Ticket. As summer heats up, so does the sports betting action at BetMGM. Sign up now using the bonus code Stoney, and your first wager is totally risk-free, up to $600. Place your bets on all the exciting showdowns in MLB, MLS, and more sports from around the globe. When you register with BetMGM, you also get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials on big games. From breathtaking goals to colossal home runs, the king of sportsbooks takes every play to a new level of excitement. Simply download the BetMGM app today or go to BetMGM.com and enter the bonus code Stoney to get back up to $600 on your very first wager. With BetMGM, you're just a few taps away from turning the game time into showtime. New customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com. For terms and conditions, must be 21 or older. Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket.
Starting route to
From the
9996
WWJ 950 AM Traffic Center, this
3
report
miles.
sponsored
Turn
by
left onto West
Penske.
14
Watching a
Mile
spin-out
Road.
crash, this along I-96 westbound on the ramp to Greenfield. The ramp is blocked. Police are on the scene. Aside from the brake lights in the work zone, north and southbound 275 here between I-94 and South Huron Road, and westbound 696 at Orchard Lake Road. The right lane closed for maintenance. Get a $1,500 bonus when you hire on with Penske Logistics. Penske Logistics is offering part-time and full-time opportunities right now. You will have a chance to work flexible hours and earn PTO right away. Visit or search Penske.jobs. Penske is an equal opportunity employer. I'm Tracy McCaskill with Traffic.
This week in Tigers baseball, brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Spencer Turnbull's season has turned for the worse, and he'll likely miss next season, rehabbing after UCL reconstruction surgery later this year. Manager AJ Hinch explains.
When he failed the throwing program down in Lakeland, we knew he had some chronic damage to the ligament. We knew that it was a possibility at some point in his career. It became more evident that he needed to go and have it now. So it's bad news, but he's very resolved in getting it done and getting back to being a league starting pitcher again.
This week in Tigers baseball, brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers.
It's a whole new ball game at your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers with the Chevy Blazer. Blazer is the midsize SUV you've been looking for. Its bold design and athletic stance will turn heads wherever you go. Its roomy interior offers seating for up to 5 passengers. Plus, the cargo management system keeps everything in its place. Chevy Blazer, it's one tough beauty. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
If you've ever hired someone to maintain your lawn, you know it can be a crapshoot. So many of these small companies are unreliable, and frankly, they don't do a very good job. You should hire Miller Landscape. They'll maintain and proactively manage all your landscape needs, from mowing and pruning to flowers, fertilization, even your sprinklers. Miller can give you that amazing backyard kitchen or patio you've always wanted. You hear Mike Valenti talk about how great they are. Go to GetMillerNow.com. That's getbuildernow.com.
Hi, Harry Glantz from Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
Staples Connect has everything for school at amazing prices. Right now, Staples one-subject notebooks are only 25 cents each, and Crayola 24-count crayons, 2-pocket poly folders, and 4-ounce Elmer's glue are just 50 cents each. So your student won't just be ready for school, there'll be tons of drawings to hang on the fridge ready.
We're going to need a bigger refrigerator.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com/back-to-school and get amazing prices for everything on your back-to-school list. Ends 9/18, limit 30, notebooks in store only. Offer may vary online.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Get savings on Pro Essentials at the Lowe's Just for Pros event going on now. Save on select appliance special values. Plus, save an additional $50 when you buy 2 or more appliances, each price $396 or more. Find more savings throughout the store at Lowe's, the new home for pros. Must ask cashier to apply discount in store. Online must use promo code. Can't be combined with any other discounts. See Lowe's.com for exclusions and terms. Valid 7/15 through 8/4. U.S. only. How do you keep a workout fresh every day?
Let's do this.
By getting everything from endurance rides to restorative yoga, all right at home. The Peloton bike. Nothing like working out from home. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more.
Switching season is back at WOW. Get super fast, extra reliable Internet 100 for just $19.99 a month. Plus, ask how to get $200 on us. Sign up at wowie.com today. Wow. Limited to new customers with auto pay and paperless billing. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Make better bets, bet smarter, and beat the books today. Download the BetQL app today to better your chances.
All right, as the opening ceremonies continue, we have a question for you. Where the hell is Micronesia?
What the Federated States of Micronesia. Stoney, here's a globe. Point out where it is.
Okay,
Good luck.
It's the subregion of Oceania consisting of thousands of small islands in the western Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
So it's somewhere between Australia and, Micronesia. It's right up there.
At the next light, turn
It's real small little island. All right. Heather, what's going on besides the lewd man from Tonga who
I
already
mean, he was on camera for like 30 seconds, not even.
Jamie Evans of Channel 4, she already put that on Twitter.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's the highlight of the opening ceremony. It's the one thing that is always consistent. The lubed up man, yes. Well, the topic that you said you didn't want to talk about, I'm going to bring up again. DeAndre Hopkins said that he was considering retirement after the NFL revealed its new COVID vaccination stance. So the NFL announced on Thursday that it would potentially punish teams with forfeits and loss of game checks if virus outbreaks among unvaccinated players caused unfixable scheduling issues. Well, just after this announcement, Hopkins jumped on social media and he said, quote, "Never thought I would say this, but being put in a position to hurt my team because I don't want to partake in the vaccine is making me question my future in the NFL." He did later delete that post, and obviously the league has not made COVID vaccines mandatory, but it's pretty clear that they want everybody to be vaccinated.
Well, it's pretty clear. We don't want games to be impacted or even canceled, and your actions have consequences. You don't have to get vaccinated, much like anybody listening. You don't have to, but there's consequences if you don't.
Right.
This is kind of on the same topic as vaccination, so I'll kind of speed through this one. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is urging unvaccinated students to mask up when returning back to school. I cannot believe the summer is almost over and kids are getting ready to go back to school, but the department director...
It's not in August yet, don't say that.
I know, but it's flying by. I know. It's almost August. I feel like I haven't even really enjoyed my summer yet because I've just been so busy in the rain. I don't know. Anyway. Anyway, let me get back to this. So the department's director discussed the safety measures for back to school and is encouraging and even expecting schools to have mask requirements for kids younger than 12 and those who have not been vaccinated. She did also say that schools should have different mitigation strategies in place to keep kids safe, depending on the level of transmission that they have in that particular school and in the school's area. I wouldn't be surprised if there's mask mandates at school. To me, kids need to be in school.
Yes.
And
No
that's
doubt.
all I am hoping is that they will be in school. That's what I want to see, without a
That's what we
doubt.
should all want.
Yes. Also, no shock here. Michigan is suffering from a nursing shortage, and it's all due to burnout. So the Michigan Nurses Association is actually lobbying for new legislation to limit the number of hours that registered nurses are forced to work and the number of patients that they are assigned. So there are a lot of Michigan nurses that say they're dealing with awful hours, poor conditions, poor pay, and even some patient abuse. And with the pandemic, this is not alarming how hard these nurses and medical staff have been working. Some nurses say that they're actually leaving local hospitals to take travel nursing positions because they're being offered better pay and better working conditions. So the Michigan Nurses Association believes that passing a law to get rid of mandatory overtime and setting patient to nurse ratios would limit hospitals, or would make them safer and more appealing. So I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I understand why they're feeling burnout without a doubt. Okay, this one's a more fun topic. So experts are now slamming yet another TikTok trend. And like I said, this one doesn't deal with teeth, thank goodness. But instead, it involves people shoving garlic up their nostrils. Have you seen this?
I've seen this.
Yes,
Stoney,
to
are
try
you
to
on
clear up their
TikTok?
sinuses.
My daughter is, so she'll show me.
We got to get
some
Stoney
stuff.
doing some dances on TikTok.
Yes!
He wasn't against it. No, so what's this trend?
So this trend, I've seen these videos, and the videos are absolutely nasty, but also look a little bit satisfying. It's something that I'm like,
It like cleanses your sinuses is what
so
they
they
do.
shove garlic up each nostril, and then when they pull the garlic out, I'm like, it's like gushing snot. It's gross.
It's very gross.
It's really gross, but also it's like, wow, does this really work? Could I really clear up my sinuses this way? Like, I've jokingly brought this up to my husband, like, should we get the garlic out and should I try this? Well, now that the video has received thousands and thousands of views, doctors are saying, this is not a hack you want to try. There are things that could go wrong on so many levels. So one, your body could start to react to the oils and the chemicals in the garlic and cause contact dermatitis in the nose. Also, a lot of irritation in the nose, which you don't want. Plus, they say if you shove the garlic too far up there, it could get stuck, which could then require a lot of other, medical procedures.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yes. So they say instead, don't turn to the garlic. Just go grab a saline nasal spray instead.
Yeah, but that's no fun. That's not a
It
fun
is no
TikTok
fun.
challenge.
No.
Look, I've had things up my nose in the past, but garlic is not one of them, and then it doesn't appeal to me.
It's not appealing at all, but I'm telling you, if you're really congested, there's something about seeing how much relief these people get that you're like, maybe I'll pull out a...
I mean, like having like horseradish can,
Oh yeah, or just like some strong peppermint even is better. But anyway, Stoney, this one you might be able to tell me a little bit about because I don't know much about what are they called? Philly steaks. Cheesesteaks.
Yes.
Like, I don't even know what they're called because I've
Yes.
never had one. Well,
they have chicken cheesesteaks, you might know.
no. I'll have the cheese minus a steak sandwich. I don't even eat, Jim, so that's where I'm going with this one. But there was a big argument between an Eagles fan and a Giants fan in line for a late-night cheesesteak that ended with one man shooting the other man to death. And this happened. Is this really an iconic place? Pat's King of Steaks in South
I almost
Philadelphia.
want my Pat's t-shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been.
You've been to the steakhouse? Or to this, whatever it's
they're at
called.
the same spot in Philly, and there's a big rivalry between the two
Pat's
places.
and Geno's.
Now, do you have a preference?
I like Pat's better.
Me too.
The ambiance is a little better. They're not the best cheesesteaks. There's a place in another part of town called D'Alessandro's.
That's what everybody
better.
told me when I was there. They said, don't do the tourist stuff.
But you should, because the ambiance, it's cool. And at Pat's, it's like when I heard about this, when did somebody order wrong? when I used to go when I was younger, they never had. There's that sign that tells you how to order.
Yeah, because there's all kinds of etiquette.
But they used to never have that. So you'd sit there, and people would sit there. So I would like a steak and cheese, cheesesteaks, and they yell at you with
They'd be screaming at
with or
me.
without whiz.
right, with or without onions, and all that. And it's pretty funny.
Well, this one did not involve any misorderings. It doesn't sound like. Witnesses say that these two guys started fighting while they were in line. This was right before 1 a.m. The Eagles fan then shot the Giants fan while they were on the sidewalk, and then he jumped into a van that was being driven by a woman, and they sped off. And he left this guy, a 23-year-old man, the victim, the gunshot victim, just bleeding out on the ground, where he did later pass away from his injuries. Police said the suspected shooter did turn himself in later that day.
Oh,
That's awful.
It is awful.
now the question is, did he get eat his cheesesteak before he killed it?
It doesn't sound like it, because it sounds like they were still in line.
Oh.
So it sounds like they never even got to order. Yeah.
Little cherry pepper.
Do you like cheese whiz, Tony? I think it's gross.
It is gross, but it's actually pretty good on the cheese.
But they put
You can have
You can do just like that. You can do like a white
real
cheese.
right?
you
So
gotta
you
put
can
it-
use the cheese whiz.
Right.
That's gross.
Usually prolongs the.
Yeah.
So Nick Cannon, he played a birthday prank on Kevin Hart earlier this month. He actually sent him a real-life llama. And he sent a message along with the llama. He said, quote, "Since I'm having all these new kids, I thought I would bless you with a new one as well. Save the drama for your llama. Happy birthday." So that was kind of a little birthday prank. Well, Kevin decided to pay him back, and he did it in a pretty big way. So he put up billboards in LA, New York, and Atlanta with Nick's actual phone number.
Oh,
Yes, and then put a message that said, "For any advice on fatherhood, call my best friend, Nick Cannon." Yeah, and as you know, Nick Cannon has a lot of children. He has 7 children with 4 different women. And so he's got a lot of babies and a lot of baby mamas. And Kevin just posted a picture of this billboard, the one in LA, on Instagram. He said, "Got you back, #prank wars."
You know what this makes me think of? Stoney, did you give away your actual phone number on the air one time?
Yeah.
The old station.
Yeah, the old. Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yep.
Did people, like random people, just call you on it?
Yeah, right away.
I would imagine so.
So imagine
yeah.
Nick Cannon's
Oh
phone
my
right
gosh.
now.
Yeah.
It's probably constant. He's
He's
ready to
already
switch
got
the
a new
number.
number.
Yeah.
He's already got a new number. There's a woman in Oklahoma who was arrested for allegedly killing her husband by running him down on an ATV after he asked for divorce. Can you imagine this? I can already envision it. This man running frantically away, and she's just chasing after him. Apparently, a big argument broke out. They were at a campground. They were camping. They had a big dispute about food. And I don't know if the husband was being serious or just in that moment
Right.
said, "I want a divorce." Well, she said, "Fine, I'm going to kill you." And she followed through. She jumped on this ATV and ran him over. And the victim's children, a son and daughter, I'm guessing they're a little bit older, witnessed this attack as well. And she actually tried to run them down as well, but thankfully didn't kill them in the process.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States of America have entered the Olympic Stadium.
There they are.
You know, I always get a kick out of like the hype, like if the basketball players are actually march with the athletes. Because sometimes they kept like the dream team, like
Oh,
they keep
really?
them separate. I don't even remember, to be quite honest with you. I want to see Kevin Durant himself.
The tallest guy there just walking
Yeah,
around.
where's Jeremy Grant? You know?
They look very nautical.
Yes. Very weird to see this team without Michael Phelps.
I know.
Yeah, what do you make of what they're wearing? It's like blue.
Well, we have a fashion expert right here.
Well, it's Ralph Lauren, right? I believe
Yeah, it
he
looks like out of the
designs all
Polo
of them. It
collection
does.
is
It
what it
looks
looks
very
like.
polo. It looks very nautical.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, Ralph Lauren always does that. The Sue Bird of the WNBA, she's one of the flag bearers. Who was the male? I remember. Yes.
Oh gosh.
Eddie Alvarez.
Yes. Thank you. I was like, I know the name right there. That's it.
The Alvarez is right there. He's not lubed up, by the way.
He's not.
He's seen to be the 3rd American to win a winter and a summer Olympic medal. Before we put a break, I do want to say hello to Peter in Woodhaven. What's up, Peter?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
You tell us.
Hey, I did that TikTok challenge you guys were talking about with Charlotte.
Yeah.
And, I have really bad sinuses, especially during allergy season living in Michigan. And this past spring I did it, I put those garlic things in my nose for about 20 to 30 minutes. When I pulled them out, I blew a handful of mucus, and there was pieces of lint, and I think the funniest part, 2 Fruity Pebbles.
Get out of here! Stop!
2 Fruity Pebbles. I mean, I eat Fruity Pebbles all the time, and I do eat them in my bed, but 2 Fruity Pebbles in this big pile of mucus, absolutely disgusting.
Oh my gosh. Maybe the Fruity Pebbles is creating some of your allergy issues.
I don't know. It might be the cottonwood, but it could be that. You might
So,
be right.
it worked for you.
Oh, it was great. I didn't have any irritation, no problems. Worked out great for me. But I want to give a shout out. I'm on my way to Chicago for my buddy's bachelor party. Jake Hernandez getting married September 17th. I love you, buddy. We're doing it big this weekend.
Woo! All right, Jake. Let's go. Snort some garlic. All right, thank you very much, Heather. Don't forget, you can vote on our Twitter polls for the best Robin Williams role and the best moment from each of the professional sports teams in Detroit. We got up to 4 with one from each team. You vote who's the best. The Wings winning the Cup in 1997. Tigers the World Series in 84. The Pistons, the Bad Boys in 8.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, nothing.
Hey, I'm heading to 9996 Inkster Road.
I feel like Brian was just there yesterday. I don't think you need to go there.
There's some about the approach. You need to mark out the whole thing.
Let me see here. No, you don't need to do that.
Okay.
I asked Brian to put his name in that line so nobody would go to it. You didn't do that?
I didn't even look. You emailed me it the other day. I just hadn't had a chance to get there.
Yeah, no, you don't have to do that. CTE said to Brian they don't want us to do it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Thanks. Are you meeting with that wood guy today? I forget what time that was.
I don't think it had a time. Check, make sure, but I didn't think it had a time. It said that he was home all day today. So I was gonna run.
Do you remember what that street was?
What was that street, Rick? Hold on, I can tell you. Oops. Whittier?
Friday morning.
Okay, well, I've got it on my list to do. I'll move it up on the list.
Yeah, I don't think I have a spring time. Just said to be there Friday morning. We're gonna bring the plants with us. Yeah, so as long as you're there before noon, I think that counts as morning.
We're gonna bring the plants with us?
Plans, like those
okay.
paper I gave you.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe it'll help. Because, just think if somebody gets there and you're not there, we just got to make sure that they understand where everything is supposed to go. So, between drawings and flags or whatever you got to do.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
All right, so we don't have to go there. It's Taylor City Hall.
Starting route to Taylor City Hall. Head south on Inkster Road, then turn right onto Grand River Street. Turn left onto Norfolk Road, then turn left onto Seminole Street. Turn left onto Seminole Street, then turn right onto Grand River Avenue. At the stop sign, turn right onto Grand River Avenue. in 2 miles. Turn right onto Telegraph Road.
necessarily your team.
But, I wouldn't go out and buy a, Jake Allen jersey if I was a Lion fan.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yes.
I wouldn't buy Jake Allen either.
Probably not worth it.
No, exactly.
So 248-539-9797. We wrap up our Friday here. And I'll be back in with you later on this month. But it is an interesting question for young and old sports fan. The biggest difference between them overall.
Right.
I would throw out there, attention span. We played the clip the other day, the fan with the phone in his hand. I think sports fans are much more, give me the action now if they're younger, as opposed to an older fan. It's like, I'll sit through a 3-hour baseball game and have a good time.
I think, I've noticed a difference in myself as I've gotten older, and Harpo's not a good example of it, but I've become more patient as far as, how long before guys should, call for their heads and things like that. Where I was younger, I would, Phil Garner should be fine. Monday morning, Phil Garner should be fine. All that stuff. But I think the actual sports that people watch and enjoy are different. Younger fans are more into the MMA than they are into boxing.
Yep, that's a great one.
When I was a kid, and even up till my late 20s, 30s, 40s, I loved boxing. Now I don't like it as much, and I tried MMA, and it seems to me that all the things that I want, quick action, violence, all that stuff, I don't know why I can't get into it. Soccer's another one. I'm because I actually enjoy watching,
At the next light, turn right.
Younger folks are the ones who are watching the Premier League all the time.
Well, I think that's something too. Is we can watch teams from all over the country, all over the globe on our phone. You didn't grow up with that. You didn't grow up with the ability. Hey, I'm going to go watch Chelsea play on my phone today, for example.
Right.
You're like, hey, these are the only options on the TV. You're the radio. They're the local teams or the big brands. So on a college football Saturday, you get Notre Dame or you get USC or something. That's all you had.
Right.
So that maybe a little more loyal to the local teams as opposed to, hey, if the Pistons stink, I'm going to go root for the big superstar, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Giannis, whoever's the big star of the day.
Yeah.
At the light,
Use
the right 2 lanes to turn onto Telegraph
Road.
Road.
Appreciate the suffering as much as the older.
We're not as patient with the suffering.
Yeah.
Well, for overall, we're not as patient.
No, that's absolutely true. 248-539-9797. That's the telephone number of the ticket price.
What about as rules change? Like when the baseball put the runner on second base, I thought old baseball guys were losing. I love it. A little more drama and a June baseball game that's already I feel like we're more, we being younger people, more willing to go, hey, go with the flow, change.
Well, especially with baseball.
Is it going to make the game more exciting? Sign me up. I don't care about some tradition or how they did it when Ted Williams was playing.
Well, look, I'm one of the few who still, I grew up in Ashley City, I still think the game's better off without the DH.
The double switch.
But that said, we need to, about putting the guy on second base for extra innings. I like it. I wish it would start in the 12th inning. I just think if play a couple innings.
The goal is to shrink the game. So if you wait till the 12th, you're defeating the whole purpose.
Yeah, it's one out of 162. I mean, it's just, it's like, you know what rule change made me accept this baseball rule change? It's the college football OT. I was not a fan of it first, and I still think it's gimmicky, but I'm like, okay, it's okay, and it's, you know, you got to eventually have a conclusion here.
Tom, do you know what they're doing this year for college football?
It's a change.
Yeah, even more so now, where it's going to be, what is it, after the second overtime, it's just a 2-point conversion.
I like it.
Going back and forth.
Right.
Yeah, I like it because I think it got a little excessive going the other way.
Yeah.
But I think some of you hit the big one for me too. Just you have a little bit more patience.
Yes.
You know, I think it's hard to argue it for Harbaugh at this point, but Dabo Swinney is the example of having just a little bit more patience. Like Jim, if you would have demanded for his head if you were doing Clemson Sports Talk Radio
5 years in.
Yeah.
I think he won his first conference title 5 years in, right? 4 or 5 years in.
In 1 mile,
Yeah, it was
keep
around
left
there.
onto Telegraph Road.
Before it took them a while to become a national power.
Yeah, but here's the difference too. The job at Clemson when he took it compared to what resources are available to you at Michigan, they're not comparable.
Right.
Michigan's a blue blood historic.
He made that.
No, I know. But to say, well, Dabo should have won earlier, he took over Clemson. And
Clemson did win a national championship in 1980.
But when he took over that program, it was a laughingstock.
Full year 3 was Dabo Swinney when the ACC in 2011.
So his
with Taj
third
Boyd.
year. Most great coaches win it in their third or fourth year,
Right.
because that's by the time they have their guys. Look at all the great Big Ten coaches.
You know,
Bo won it his first, his third, and his fourth season.
Right.
You got to look a little deeper though. Like that 11 Clemson team, that was a 10-14. Now there's 3 lost regular season and lost their bowl game. You know, it was when they took down Florida State, and that was like year 7. And that after when Jameis was gone.
Right. This is the other thing that's different. This is all about technology. I mean, the younger sports fan aren't perusing bot scores and reading the newspaper. You read stuff online, but not as, I don't think, as detailed as we did back in the day, so to speak, or as older sports fans. I mean, I still love the Sunday newspaper. I mean, I wish we got it still every day. We don't. But you can still get more stuff online.
Yeah, constant.
Yeah.
I'm like watching games with social media and just seeing instant commentary and a funny joke and a weird stat.
I know.
And that's completely different than what it would have been for you.
I mean, I'm as bad as anybody on that now. If you think that's bad, I mean, as Gov can attest, I mean,
Use the left 3 lanes to keep left onto Telegraph Road.
Conversation happened around the John Abrahams or something. I mean, that was like a laughing joke.
That's you being distracted.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just sitting there going,
Keep left.
But yes,
Now you are like the younger people obsessed with your phone.
In 11 miles, make a
no doubt
U-turn.
about it.
But that's why he said, don't make it Jim versus Stoney. And we're different. Make it the typical sports fan who's older and the typical sports fan who's younger. What do you see as the biggest differences? You know, I think that's a fun way to kind of wrap up the show.
Yeah, maybe a fan loyalty to a degree.
Yeah, like I said, I think today's younger sports fan are more into the individual than the team. The old Jerry Seinfeld joke story.
Rooting for laundry.
Rooting for laundry. Rooting for jerseys. Here, I don't think the younger people root for jerseys as much as they do root for people. Maybe that's not the worst thing in the world, considering if you have crappy teams like we do. I almost said the S word. 97 on the ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ 950 AM Traffic Center, this report sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Rain in parts of Metro Detroit, slow down and allow yourself a bit of extra time. Watching an accident here, the right shoulder blocked. Southbound I-75 at 12 Mile. Aside from that, we do have orange barrels in place on this rainy Friday, including westbound 696 at Haggerty Road. Also, the right lane closed along 696 westbound here at Orchard Lake Road. And along the Jeffries, eastbound I-96 from Livernois to Tireman, a left lane closure for maintenance. Plus, work along the westbound Davison Freeway ramp to north and southbound I-75 is closed through the first week of August. I'm Tracy McCaskill with Traffic.
There are no sweeter sounds. Hear the game. Here. All the play-by-play all season is on 97.1 The Ticket and the Odyssey app.
Getting the COVID-19 COVID-19 vaccine is your shot to win. Michiganders 18 and older vaccinated between December 1st, 2020 and July 30th, 2021 are now eligible to win millions in prizes. Get details and enter at mishottowin.com. Subject to sweepstakes rules.
This is JR with an Odyssey Sports Minute. One of the great American sports cities just can't win. I'm talking about Oakland. The Warriors, they languished in Oakland for years. They finally win, and they are moved across the bay to San Francisco. The Raiders, they've gone out to Vegas. And after hearing about it for years, the A's of the city of Oakland are still in negotiations to build a new ballpark to keep the team where they belong. The alternative if the A's move? The same as the Raiders, Las Vegas. Oakland is an underdog. It's a grinded-out mentality type of city. You can go ahead and ask local legends. I'm talking about Gary Payton and Marshawn Lynch. It would be a massive shame if Oakland were left with no major sports teams. This might be another big mistake by not just the A's, but Major League Baseball. I'm JR.
Heard you're buying a car. I brought my calculator.
Dad, I already used Capital One Auto Navigator. I found my car online and got pre-qualified instantly, instead of all that.
You know those things impact your credit score.
Didn't impact my credit score, Dad. Now I'm going to the dealership for a test drive and to make the purchase.
Sounds too easy.
No, it's just easy. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/Auto Navigator.
Trade Pros. Ferguson is committed to making business with us the easiest part of your day. Ferguson.com is designed to help run your business from the office to the job site by making your day-to-day activities easier with 24/7 account access, unmatched online inventory, and on-the-go account management. And with our Pro Plus customer loyalty program, you can earn points with every online purchase, redeemable for merchandise, event tickets, trips, and more. Sign up today at Ferguson.com.
The international games are back, and Greektown Casino is going for the win. Catch all the excitement at the Barstool Sportsbook as the USA athletes compete for all the glory. Watch all your favorite events on 25 HD TVs and 30-foot video wall, and wager on one of the 40 betting kiosks or online on the Barstool Sportsbook app. There are so many reasons to enjoy the 2021 games at Greektown Casino. So grab your friends and get in on all the action at Greektown's Barstool Sportsbook. Problem gambling? Call 270-7117.
The Rolling Stones, No Filter, this fall. Sponsored by Alliance for Lifetime Income. November 15th, Ford Field. The world's greatest rock and roll band. Get tickets now at rollingstones.com. Produced by Concerts West and AEG presents The Stones. Get tickets now.
Hey, I'm Kuka Hill, host of Locked On Pistons podcast, a daily podcast covering your favorite team. Come listen to the Locked On Pistons podcast Monday through Friday to hear about why the three-time NBA champion Detroit Pistons are on their way back to the top and why Cade Cunningham is the best player in NBA history. Also, hear why Beef Stew is the best nickname in NBA history. Listen to the Locked On Pistons podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. Detroit basketball.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. If you haven't refinanced your mortgage in 2021, you need to call Hall Financial right now to see if you qualify for our no appraisal 8-day close. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Odyssey and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. The Detroit Tigers play the Kansas City Royals. Pre-game tonight at 7:50 on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
All right, I know everybody's been waiting for this with bated breath, but the Cleveland Indians have announced their new name. They are no longer the Indians. They are the Cleveland Guardians. The logo is a C with like wings, kind of like the Red Wings wings to a certain extent.
You can say it. It's lame.
I don't like the name. I mean,
or the logo.
Exactly. I mean, what are they gonna have, like Groot night? They're trying to take off on Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't see the video that accompanied it. I'm sure they didn't mention that, but I mean, really? Let's go Guardians. Oh, that's awful.
It's brutal.
I mean, I know some people, they had an old-time team called the Spiders. I thought that would have been better.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Their hockey team, short-lived in the NHL, but they were definitely a long time in the AHL, was the Cleveland Barons. Guardians?
Do you know why they picked the Guardians?
Do you know?
No, maybe I'll like it more if I know why they picked it.
There's a video accompanying it.
It's 2 minutes. Yeah, we haven't had a chance to watch it, but I just skimmed through it. It's like here's a shot of Cleveland as the sun rises, and here's a flashback to some moments in Cleveland baseball history. I don't know if they punctuate it and explain why it's Guardians, but this is just breaking like moments ago.
Right, is Thanos going to throw out the first ball?
This is another one of these segments I like to call Stoney Reads the Internet.
No, I knew that.
But it's breaking. I mean, we don't really have time to digest it here. But
he also was in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
This
is Marvel.
This is Stoney trying to get comedic material from the internet.
He's in the cast.
He's Gamora, right, Greg?
I'm looking at the cast. What are you talking about?
Of Guardians of the Galaxy?
That's my point, Stoney.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
And he's quite literally...
Right.
Yeah.
For some of it, yeah. I saw one of them. I've seen some of them.
Yeah, I'm just skimming through the video. It's just like scenic shots of Cleveland and fans, and then Guardians at the end. The G is even weird in Guardians. So it's like an uppercase G, and then the G also forms kind of like a 1.
I know.
It's weird. It's like kind of like what's that on a turkey?
Yeah.
That like red.
Gobbler.
There's like a gobbler on the Guardian. That's what it is. There's a gobbler on the Guardians. On the G. It's weird.
See, they could have done the Cleveland. If we're going to do the whole Avengers thing here with Stoney and Guardians, they should have been the Cleveland Groots, and they could have used Groot as their logo.
Right. Bradley Cooper.
You like that?
Yeah. Bradley Cooper do the...
Well, he'd be
right, he'd be...
Rocket.
Right.
Or Rabbit.
Right. Vin Diesel, right?
No, now you made me forget his name.
Vin Diesel was Groot.
Vin Diesel was
yeah, that's
Groot.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Danny Bautista.
Danny Bautista, former Tiger Danny Bautista.
Or not, what's his Dave Bautista? God, wow. It's Friday, people.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you had some visitors yesterday. These things happen. We do have some ticket text. Dads call every travel in the NBA. We're talking about old guys versus young guys.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, it was better back in the day. I mean, everybody always says that. And I'm sure the younger kids today, when the next LeBron comes, is going to say that this guy wasn't as good as LeBron. And that's the way it always is. Also, old sports guy thinks Ken Holland knows what he was doing. Young guy knows he's a moron who rode the work of Hakan Anderson and the Ilitch's money.
Yeah. I love the Hakan Anderson group.
Yeah. Look, there's some truth to that. Some. I thought, Holland made some good moves.
Yeah, when there were no rules and unlimited money, he was the best GM. And then when there were rules and a salary cap.
And let's not give him any credit for drafting Zetterberg and Datsyuk.
Right. Well, there we go. That's Hakan Anderson.
That's the European scouting.
Right. So when he makes bad draft picks, it's only his
North
fault.
American players.
It's only his fault. It's not that's the other thing of being a GM. Look, it's under your watch, so you should get the heat and the praise. But if you're going to praise an individual scout, then you have to, go after it.
The point was Anderson was there before Holland became the GM.
Right.
Holland stepped in, 97? He was the GM, right? As they were winning Stanley Cups and the roster was already built.
Yes, but they did win. They did do a nice job with winning World Cup. This is salary cap. Look, I'm one of those who thinks Dumars was great the first 5 years and actually sucked the
It
last
deserved to
5.
be let go at the end.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. That's what happens. Older fans randomly show up in Gov's garage. Young ones don't. That's
For those not listening earlier, I had somebody, a woman who was lost show up in my garage.
Yes,
she had
exactly.
Alzheimer's.
She probably also designed the Cleveland Guardians logo.
It's awful.
Oh, God.
It makes me think that the Washington football team should just stay the Washington football team. If this is the kind of creativity going on in sports right now.
You know what? They probably should. And somebody I saw tweeted out the Cleveland baseball team would have been better.
Yeah, just keep the Cleveland baseball team.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's just, look, whatever. It means, hey, look, Tigers are going to have to beat them anyway. Okay, that's the most important thing. Right.
This one says the Cleveland Guardians keeping Ohio safe from a World Series for 73 years.
World Series championship. That's
Yeah.
right.
Who wins between the Guardians and Angels?
Ooh, that's a good one. But the Angels have only been in one World Series, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Is that against Barry Bonds and the Giants?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was when you were like 9.
Thank you.
That was 2000. Oh, yeah, you're right. Wow.
I think I might have nailed it, in fact.
Yeah.
Pretty close, probably.
Was that wasn't the World? Was that the World Series with Dusty Baker's kid?
Yeah, and it was also when they were still not wearing helmets.
Yeah. Oh, stop it, thanks. Dusty Baker's kid got drafted this year. How about that? You think you feel old? That remember that little kid? You don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know.
Dusty Baker, when he managed the Giants, right? His kid was like the unofficial bat boy.
Bat boy,
He was like
yeah.
6 or 7 years old, and he goes onto the field and during a play and almost got run over. And I think I forget exactly. JT Snow basically picked him up for getting run over at the plate.
You know, Doug, do you like this Guardian's name, Doug Karsh?
Sort of. Understanding that, first of all, I don't really care. I have no skin in the game.
Right.
Any name was going to have people complaining. You just couldn't.
True.
It's impossible to come up with a name where 100% of the people go, awesome, nailed it. I do like the logo. I think the logo's cool.
Like the wings?
The G's around the baseball. And it's clear that they're trying to make it look like Indians. Guardians was about the closest they could come to Indians. But I mean, people are gonna bitch up a storm, and I get it. I'd hate if one of our teams had to change their name.
I know.
But it is what it is, right? I mean,
that's Cleveland.
Give me one that everybody was gonna love.
Yeah, I kind of like the Spiders or the Barons, but people would have changed. People would have complained about that.
I would have gone. I like the Spiders the best, but people would have hated that too. So.
A little unique. What do you guys got coming on your show today?
Check the show sheet.
All right, so
I'm ready to go.
I came up with
Moments to spare.
I said Gator would eat 33, so I
said 28.
I was a little low.
I missed this.
Who had 36? Somebody had 30. It was Greg. Greg was the closest. He was at 43. Although I technically had 50, but Price is Right rules. I was over.
Yes.
They're both 7 away.
So did Gov and Kang.
If people missed it,
50, yeah.
Because Giannis ordering the 50
Yes,
nuggets,
okay.
we from Chick-fil-A, we went out and got 50 nuggets and made Gator eat them between 11 and the beginning of the Tiger game. It was 7 breaks. He could only eat during commercial breaks.
Okay.
And he went like 11 the first break, 9 the second break, 4 the third break. He missed a break because he had to go to the bathroom. By the end, he said, all I can taste is sodium and struggle.
Oh, my God.
The biggest problem he had was, and I knew this before, that's why I didn't give him 50. Because I think he would have done 50 under normal. He didn't know about it until after he had just finished a banana smoothie to start his day.
No, that's not the way to start.
No.
No.
I think given a clear, free stomach when he would have started, I think he would have
Given the proper runway, he would have got
Yes,
that.
of course.
The runway was short.
Absolutely.
He should have taken the food to the bathroom.
He could have.
No.
He could have. That would have been awfully disgusting.
Yeah.
But that would have spoken to his commitment to get the job done. Yeah. But I don't think he was that committed. It wasn't his idea. He wasn't bragging he could do this. We dropped it. We unfairly dropped this on him, and
yeah, but I give him so much credit for being a team player.
He was a total team player. I asked him today. Well, we'll find out right at the beginning of the show how he feels today.
All right. Carson Anderson coming up. Carson Anderson coming up next. Jim Costa, thanks for being here the last 2 days. Jansen will be back on Monday, 97.1 The Tick.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by YC Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Making 7 straight victories for the Tigers because why not?
Swinging a fly ball left field. Goodbye. Eric Haas with a no-doubter to left.
number 15.
Dan Dickerson's call right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Eric Haas, also thankful for having the fans at Comerica Park to back them up.
It's just, it's awesome to feel like, we're putting a good product in the field. People are trying to get excited about it. It seems like the better we play, the better the crowds, keep coming out. So, thanks to the fans, they've been making it really fun.
7-5 was the final last night as they swept away the Rangers for those 7 straight wins. They'll go on the road to Kansas City starting tonight just after 8 o'clock at Kauffman Stadium. The Wings doing work before the NHL draft this evening, trading for talented goalie from Carolina, Alex Nedeljkovic, for a 3rd-rounder and the rights to Jonathan Bernier, giving him a 2-year extension, also a 3-year deal for center Michael Rasmussen. The draft will begin tonight at 8 o'clock with round number 1, Detroit picking 6th overall. The Wings schedule also revealed Detroit's next season will begin on Thursday, October 14th against Tampa to begin a 4-game homestand. The Olympic ceremonies in Japan happening this morning in front of an empty stadium, mostly empty. Flag bearers walking through the facility, including Team USA, represented by WNBA star Sue Bird, and baseball player for the USA, Eddie Alvarez. Also, soccer's Megan Rapinoe joining the broadcast on NBC, saying they're happy to be there in the first place.
Last year, in March and April, we were sitting here wondering if we weren't even going to get this opportunity. So while it looks quite different and feels quite different than it has in the past, I think all of us are just thrilled to be here. Hopefully we can put on a good show and, be a part of that great legacy of Team USA.
Medal events will begin this weekend for the Summer Olympics. And the NFL warning its teams of the implications of COVID outbreaks again this upcoming season. A game unable to be played due to coronavirus within the locker room will result in forfeiture and a loss counting in the playoff standings. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Doug Kosh.
Good luck in keeping yourself contained.
Scott Peter Anderson. Today is Friday. On 97.1 The Ticket.
At the next light, turn right.
All right, good Friday, everybody. I'm Carson Scott Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. Open lines, 248-539-9797. How you doing today, buddy?
All right.
It's seriously, how you doing? This is not just a throwaway greeting. How are you?
No, I'm fine.
How are you today? Nice.
Nice is what I should have said, like I said 30 years ago or 25 years ago. When my friend's aunt said, "Hi, nice to meet you." I said, "Nice."
Yeah, which is a great response.
You've
Peter,
entered
how are
the
you?
parking lot for
Nice.
your destination.
Mm-hmm.
Arrive.
But
Yeah,
not,
no,
so, not
it's-
so nice yesterday. You're not a feats of gluttony kind of guy, right? You're you said yesterday, ate the wrong things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you survived.
ooh, pizza, cheese, bread, love it. What else you got?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the stuff that does me in. It's not that I eat, if I eat hot